Well, let's talk now to Colin Clarke, the Director of Research at the Soufan Group, which focuses on global security. Colin, welcome. A lot of questions about how this could have happened. What's your take?
Yeah, there's a lot of questions, and I think the U.S. Secret Service is going to have to answer to them. Representative James Comer is already calling for the head of the Secret Service to come and testify before his committee next week. And I think there's going to be some real soul-searching within that agency to see how somebody was able to get so close to former President Trump to take the 8 shots before the individual was neutralized. So really, I think most of us are kind of, just horrified at what happened and have the same questions that many others do.
Politicians, of course, want to be visible, don't they? They want voters to find them accessible. I mean, hindsight is a very clever thing. There is obviously a lot of criticism of the Secret Service and its part in this. I mean, do you think that's really justified?
I think in this case it was a major security lapse. The fact that this individual was able to get on top of an elevated building so close with an AR-15 before being noticed. There was even people in the crowd that recognized him and were calling for police, and there was a delay between that time and the time that he was actually neutralized. So, yeah, I do think criticism, at least from what I've seen so far, is warranted. But again, in the coming days and weeks, we're going to learn more of the details and exactly what went wrong and why.
There's much, of course, that we will never know. The FBI has already named their suspect, and he's reported to have been killed. So what will the investigation now focus on?
There's probably going to be social media forensics to look into what this individual was looking at online, whether he was somebody that radicalized by, viewing certain, material. Your previous guest talked about the hyperbolic nature of U.S. politics, highly partisan, highly acerbic, really kind of no holds barred. And I think, this is real life, and there are real consequences to some of the things that politicians and their supporters say. And I hope that this is a time for reflection to reel things back in. But I'm worried we're actually going to go headfirst in the other direction, people going to opposite ends of the political spectrum and ratcheting up the rhetoric and the extremism until we reach November.
What does all this mean for the future of political rallies in the U.S.? I mean, are they going to have to be simply done differently?
I don't know. I mean, I never thought we'd be in this position where we're seeing the video of what we saw yesterday, but certainly they're going to have to be a lot more expansive in terms of setting up a security perimeter, keeping candidates safe. There was an individual who was attending the rally that lost his life, 2 others critically wounded. So really just a dark stain on U.S. politics and a very dark day in American history.
Is this one of those days in America where folks look at your gun laws and just shake their heads and say, look, it's time to get rid of all these guns? The country is just full of them. Do you think any changes are likely on U.S. gun laws?
No, absolutely not. If we didn't respond as a nation after Sandy Hook, where we normalized the mass slaughter of children, nothing will change. I'm very cynical that anything will.
Do you think this is likely to bear on the election campaign?
Well, your previous guest talked about 2 images juxtaposed against one another. One of President Biden with his mouth agape, looking confused, next to President Trump, fist in the air, blood streaming down his face. The image couldn't be any more different. And so I think we're going to see that reinforced over and over until the election. And I would be surprised if it didn't have an impact on voters.
Colin, good to talk to you. Thanks very much for coming on the program. Colin Clarke, Director of Research at the Soufan Group.
Thank you.